You know there's something special about this time in life, the wisdom, the freedom, the chance to finally do things your way. But let's be honest, living alone after 70 can sometimes feel a little quiet. Maybe the house feels bigger than it used to, or the days seem to stretch out longer. If you've ever found yourself wondering how to fill those hours with joy and confidence, you're not alone. The good news? Happiness isn't about having people around you every second of the day. It's about finding little ways to make your life richer, more fulfilling, and full of the things you love. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Whether you've been living solo for years or it's a newer chapter for you, these 7 tips will help you feel happier, more confident, and truly at peace with your independence. So, let's start with the first one, because this one can make all the difference. 1. Create a routine that excites you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A routine, isn't that boring? But here's the thing. Structure doesn't have to be dull. In fact, having a gentle rhythm to your day can give you something to look forward to, something that's just yours. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, do you have a little ritual that makes you smile? Maybe it's savoring that first cup of coffee while watching the sunrise, or reading a few pages of a book you love. It doesn't have to be grand, just something that sets a positive tone for the day. And here's a tip, mix things up now and then. If you always have tea at 10 a.m., why not take it outside on a nice day, or invite a friend over for a cup once a week? Small changes keep things fresh without feeling overwhelming. 2. Stay connected your way. One of the biggest worries about living alone is feeling isolated. But staying connected doesn't mean you have to be surrounded by people all the time. It's about finding the kind of connection that works for you. Maybe you love long phone calls with your grandkids, or perhaps you prefer writing letters to old friends. If you're tech-savvy, video calls can be a wonderful way to see loved ones, even if they're miles away. And if you're not, that's okay too. A simple phone call or even a weekly coffee date with a neighbor can do wonders. The key is to reach out in a way that feels natural, not because you have to, but because it brings you joy. 3. Rediscover an old passion or find a new one. Remember that hobby you used to love but set aside because life got busy? Now's the perfect time to bring it back. Whether it's painting, gardening, knitting, or even dancing around the living room to your favorite music, doing something you love fills your days with purpose. And if you're thinking, but I don't have any hobbies, that's fine too. This is your chance to try something new. Always wanted to learn how to bake bread? Curious about bird watching? There's no rush, no pressure, just the fun of exploring. You might be surprised how much confidence comes from creating, learning, or simply enjoying something just for you. Now, these first 3 tips are just the beginning. There's so much more to explore when it comes to living happily and confidently on your own. So, let's keep going, because the best is yet to come. You know, one of the most beautiful things about this stage of life is that you've earned the right to focus on what truly matters to you. And that's exactly what we're going to do as we explore the next few ways to make living alone not just manageable, but truly joyful. So let's pick up right where we left off. 4. Make your space your sanctuary. There's something powerful about walking into a room and feeling like it's yours, a place that reflects your personality, your memories, and your comfort. If you've been living in the same home for years, maybe it's time for a little refresh. And no, I'm not talking about a major renovation, just small changes that make your space feel more you. Could your favorite chair use a cozy new throw blanket? Maybe those family photos could be rearranged into a collage that makes you smile every time you pass by. Even something as simple as opening the curtains wide to let in the morning light can shift your mood. And if you've downsized or moved somewhere new, think of this as your chance to create a fresh start. Surround yourself with things that bring you peace, whether it's a houseplant that thrives under your care or a collection of books you've always meant to read. Your home should be your haven, a place where you feel completely at ease. Just move your body because it feels good. Now, I know the word exercise can sometimes sound like a chore, but moving your body isn't about pushing yourself to extremes. It's about finding ways to stay active that actually feel good. Maybe it's a daily walk around the neighborhood where you can greet the same friendly faces and watch the seasons change. Or perhaps it's gentle stretching in the morning to keep your muscles loose and your energy up. Even dancing to a favorite song while you tidy up counts. The key is to listen to your body and do what makes you feel strong and energized. You're not training for a marathon, you're simply giving yourself the gift of movement, and that's something to celebrate. Check. Embrace the power of small adventures. Adventure doesn't have to mean traveling across the world, unless you want it to. It can be as simple as trying a new recipe, visiting a local museum you've never been to, or even taking a different route on your walk just to see something new. These little adventures keep life interesting. They give you stories to tell, things to look forward to, and a sense that every day holds possibilities. And here's a secret. You don't have to do it alone if you don't want to. Invite a friend along, or join a group that shares your interests. But if you'd rather savor the quiet joy of exploring on your own, that's just as wonderful. Now, we've covered so much already, creating a fulfilling routine, staying connected, rediscovering passions, making your space yours, staying active, and sprinkling in small adventures. But there's still one more key ingredient to living happily and confidently on your own, and it might just be the most important of all. We've talked about so many wonderful ways to fill your days with joy and confidence, from creating routines you love to rediscovering old passions, making your home a sanctuary, and even sprinkling in little adventures. But there's one last piece of the puzzle, and it's perhaps the most important of all. Chapter 7. Be kind to yourself every single day. This might sound simple, but it's something we often forget, especially when living alone. Without the natural rhythms of family or work life, it's easy to fall into patterns of self-criticism or loneliness. But here's the truth. You are your own best companion, and just like you'd comfort a dear friend, you deserve that same gentleness from yourself. Some days will feel easier than others. There might be mornings when you wake up full of energy, ready to tackle a new project or meet up with friends. And then there might be days when you move a little slower, when the quiet feels heavier. And that's okay. Happiness isn't about being cheerful every second. It's about giving yourself permission to feel what you feel without judgment. So if you're having one of those slower days, remind yourself, you've lived a life full of experiences. And sometimes rest is just as important as activity. Make yourself a comforting meal, put on music that lifts your spirits, or simply sit with a warm cup of tea and let yourself be. The more you treat yourself with kindness, the more natural confidence and contentment will follow. Bringing it all together. Living alone after 70 isn't about waiting for the days to pass. It's about making each one meaningful in your own way. Whether it's through small routines, rekindled hobbies, a home that feels like a hug, or the quiet joy of your own company, Happiness is yours to design. So, take what resonates with you from these tips and make them your own. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just your way. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember, you've already navigated so much in life. This chapter, it's just another opportunity to thrive. If any of these ideas sparked something for you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. What's one small thing you'll try this week to bring a little more joy into your day? Let's inspire each other. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more conversations like this. Because no matter your age, life is meant to be enjoyed, one happy, confident moment at a time. Here's to your happiness. On your own terms, you've got this.